Why hiring an attorney designates you as a ward of the state. The legal implications of legal representation. Hiring an attorney, under legal interpretation, often results in you being deemed a ward of the state. This legal designation implies incompetence, similar to that of a minor or someone incapable of managing their own affairs. The origin of this designation stems from the birth registration process. When a child is born, the mother signs the record of live birth as the informant, a term with serious legal implications. In this role, she acts as a trustee to the father's estate. This act, often done unknowingly, transfers custodial rights of the child, a property of the father's estate, to the state. Consequently, the child becomes subject to state jurisdiction and administrative control. Birth registration and transfer of estate rights. Official documentation practices confirm this legal transfer. For instance, in the state of Oklahoma, instructions explicitly advise hospitals to have only the mother sign the birth certificate. This is not an oversight, rather, it is a strategic legal move. As the father holds the status of executor of the estate, state authorities aim to bypass him and secure consent from the mother, who is considered a trustee. The father, often unaware of his legal authority, is excluded from the process. Meanwhile, the birth certificate is submitted to the state registrar, which then creates a separate estate in the child's name and places it in probate. This new estate forms the legal fiction known as the corporate U, a construct used for contractual interactions with the government. The estate, the trust, and the legal fiction. An individual's name presented in all caps is more than stylistic, it signifies a corporate entity. This legal fiction is used in financial, legal, and governmental transactions. The government cannot contract with a living individual, thus, the corporate U is created as a proxy. The certificate of live birth serves as the foundational document for this legal fiction. This estate, placed under government control at birth, is then utilized as collateral to back national debt. The child's future labor becomes a form of financial security. Meanwhile, the actual birth record is stored away, and only the certificate of live birth, representing the estate's existence, is issued to the individual. Administrative processes and legal titles. Throughout life, the individual unknowingly acts as the trustee of their estate, using the legal fiction in all contractual agreements, obtaining a driver's license, opening a bank account, or paying taxes. These acts reaffirm their status as a ward of the state. If the child, upon reaching legal age, fails to reclaim their status as executor of their own estate, they continue under this presumption of incompetency. They operate under granted privileges rather than exercising inherent rights. The state becomes the beneficiary of their estate, and the courts act as administrators. The role of attorneys and the courts. In court proceedings, attorneys serve not as personal advocates but as officers of the court. Their primary allegiance lies with the court system, particularly the British Accreditation Registry, BAR. The judge, often interpreted as the administrator of your estate, works to generate revenue for the state, not to protect your individual rights. This relationship explains the quote, "Woe unto ye, lawyers." Even well-meaning attorneys may be unaware of the systemic structure they support. The court views the individual as a legal fiction, not as a living man or woman, and accordingly handles them as such. Conclusion: Understanding the constructive legal framework. The process described above is known as constructive fraud, a legal framework established at birth that places individuals under state control through administrative procedures. While not all legal professionals act in bad faith, the system itself perpetuates a cycle of dependency, legal fiction, and administrative governance. Only by understanding this structure and asserting one's lawful position as executor of their own estate can one reclaim personal sovereignty and exit the presumption of incompetence embedded in the legal system.